These are called shells. Just like in quilting, how we have different applique motifs, we have the same kind of idea in crochet. So if you wanted to have these decorative shells, what do you do next? This is a little bit more complicated, and you may want to keep your PDF pattern near you just to keep track of this, because this is where that multiple of 6 comes in handy. Each one of these shells is made out of 6 stitches. And so every time we have this thing going on, we're doing 6 different stitches. So I'm going to show you that process a few times. So first we're going to start in that same stitch that we just joined with the slip stitch. We're going to make a chain. And in crocheting, we often do a chain when we're starting what we call a new round. So we made one round that we completed sort of like one length of stitches. Now we're going to put the next layer on top, and it's common to put a chain in between those layers. We're going to make a single crochet into that same stitch that we just did. So again, that same single crochet that we've been doing, except now instead of putting it into the horizontal bar of the blanket stitch, we're going to go into the loops of that single crochet. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through. We'll have our 2 loops, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. That's our single crochet. Now we're going to do 5 double crochets, but first we're going to skip 2 single crochets. So we're going to skip 2 of these V's. In the 3rd V is where we're going to work all these stitches. So the double crochet is different than any stitch we've done yet. We're going to wrap the yarn around first. So we're going to yarn over first. So we're already going to have 2 loops on the hook. Then we're going to skip our 2 stitches, and we're going to insert our hook into the 3rd stitch. So now we'll have effectively 3 loops on the hook. Now we're going to yarn over again. We're going to pull that through the 1st loop, and we'll still have 3 loops. And we're going to yarn over again and pull through 2 loops, and we're going to do that once more. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now if you're feeling confused, I do have a link to a tutorial just for this stitch, so you can watch it over and over in the pattern. But we're going to do 4 more in this same spot. So it's supposed to be 5 double crochets all together. That was our first one. So we're going to wrap the yarn over. We're going to insert into that same stitch. How can we tell it's the same stitch? Well, if we tug on our double crochet that we just did, it'll sort of pull up that loop, so we know that's the right one. So we're going to put our hook in there. Now we have 3 loops. We're going to yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops again. So that's 2 double crochets. We got 5 to go, or 5 in total, so that's 3 more to go. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops again. That's 3 double crochets. We've got 2 more to go. So we're going to yarn over, insert, oops, let me make sure I'm in the right spot. Okay, insert our hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets. We'll do that one more time in the same stitch. Yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and yarn over and draw through 2 loops. So we have our very first shell there. And so that's taken 6 stitches. It has our first single crochet and our 5 double crochets. We're skipping 2 on each side of the double crochet, so altogether that's going to be 6 stitches. And now we're going to repeat that all the way across. By repeating that, I mean we're going to skip 2, we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch and make a single crochet, just 1. So yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That's our single crochet. Then we're going to skip 2 and we're going to make 5 double crochets into the next. Again, that's yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and we're going to repeat that so that we're going to do that 5 times into that same stitch. So we're going to do this all the way across this side of our placemat or of our swatch, whichever one that you're working with. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we get to the very last time, when we skip 2, there's only going to be space for a single crochet, the edge of this row. And so when we get there, I'm going to catch up with you and I'm going to show you what to do in the corner because it's a little bit different. Okay, so what happens when you get to a corner after you've done your shells and you've ended with your last single crochet? You will have this tiny little loop formed by your 3 chains that you did before. So you're going to insert your hook into those 3 chains, or rather I should say the space formed by those 3 chains. It's actually called the chain 3 space for those of you that are interested in crochet. And we're going to work a single crochet in that space. So we're going to yarn over, pull through the 3 chain loop or chain 3 loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And now we're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3, apologies for the ambulance. And then we're going to put our hook back into that same chain 3 space, which is like a little opening, so it'll be kind of easy to find, and do another single crochet. So basically a single crochet, 3 chains, and a single crochet into the chain 3 space. Now we're going to work the same way across each side. So we're going to start with the single crochet in the first stitch. Then we're going to skip 2. We're going to do 5 double crochets into the next stitch. Then we're going to skip 2, and we're going to repeat that all the way across to the very last stitch of the row, where we'll put a single crochet. And then when we get to that next chain 3 space, we're going to single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet all into that same space. Now I'm going to work across this row, and then I'm going to share how you finish your project and take care of it. One of the pluses of working with crochet 100% cotton yarn is you can basically treat it the same way you would treat your quilting fabric. So when I'm done with this project, I can iron it just like I would iron a quilt or something that I've quilted. I can wash it the same way. I do recommend, depending on how much quilting that you've done, because I didn't necessarily describe a lot of the quilting process, you may want to hand wash it if you haven't quilted it following the manufacturer's instructions in terms of how much space between each quilt line, because if you've kind of cut a little bit of corners like I did on mine, you may find that, you know, the batting will start to kind of, you know, get messy if you throw it in the washing machine, just because you haven't quilted, let's say, every 2 inches or whatever the guidelines were. So I usually hand wash these, and I have 2 preferred washes that I like. One is, or actually they're both made by Unicorn, and I have them listed in the PDF. They're a company that makes fiber wash. You could use any fiber wash though. If you have another, you know, even anything like Woolite you could use, or Soak, or gosh, I'm probably pronouncing this terribly wrong, but I think it's Eucalan or Eucalan. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but you can really use any fiber wash that is sort of gentle on fabrics to clean these. But the reason I like the Unicorn is because they have one called Scour Power or something like that, and that one actually does a great job of removing stains. Like I had actually on one of my crochet projects, I had tomato sauce splatter on it, and it had a huge tomato sauce stain, and I was traveling at the time, so I didn't have anything to wash it with, and it kind of set in, which was awful. And so when I came home, I used the Scour Power, and it pulled it right up, and it doesn't damage the fabric, so that's great. Okay, so here I am on my last single crochet, and then my last corner chain 3 space, where I'm going to single crochet and chain 3, and then single crochet into the same stitch. Now I'm right back at the beginning, so I'm going to end with a slip stitch. I'm going to insert my hook into my very first single crochet, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And then I'm going to cut my yarn tail, leaving a few inches of slack.